Awesome. We're gonna get started, guys. I'm excited. Get the live going as well. I'm just waiting for a live video. Once that start, and then we'll get the ball rolling. Thank you for jumping on. This is exciting. Let's go. Okay, live is popping, running. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Gilbert Abraham. I'm here with my good friend Lloyd. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Good, good, good. So Lloyd and I knew each other for a few years. When I used to run my last company, he was my YouTube ad guys. He helped me with YouTube ads, get us set up, get up and running, and it was definitely an amazing experience. So now what I would like to do is help have him share some of his knowledge with us, especially the small business owner community that we have here. So to get started, Lloyd, what I like to do is you kind of share a little bit more about you. Who is Lloyd?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, everybody. My name is Lloyd Dodgen. I run an advertising agency that specializes in YouTube ads called the YouTube Ads Guy. I know, a little on the nose, but I believe in clarity above anything else. Been doing this since about 2019 in this specific iteration. Been running businesses and companies since really since for like almost 15 years now, 16
Nice.
years. But yeah, so we've worked with a ton of people, especially in the ClickFunnels community, high ticket
Mhm.
coaches, consultants, experts, people who have info product businesses. Have worked with Inc. 500 companies that are in the top 50,
Nice.
all helping them to essentially launch and scale through YouTube ads.
So I love that. I love that. And I love the fact that you have a lot of business experience. Now, our audience, a lot of them are small business owners that are
Mhm.
just starting out, right? Some people are telling them they need to be on YouTube, sometimes to be on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? Tell me, in your opinion, why YouTube for small business owners?
Why YouTube for small business owners? The landscape has changed so much. And I think we've all
Mm,
kind of seen it. We've seen the transition from Instagram from being a photo platform to a video platform.
yeah.
We've seen the explosion of things like TikTok and really the attention span of people reading these days. It's diminishing little by little,
Mm,
especially even ChatGPT. You don't even need to read the whole thing anymore. You can just have it summarized really quickly. People are consuming video in greater quantities than we ever have been. You look at things like Netflix and Hulu and whatnot. I mean, it is 24/7. We're just in consumption mode. YouTube is that great platform, in my opinion, a great equalizer because what it does, unlike any other platform, is not only is it somewhat of a social media platform, but
yeah.
it's also a search engine. And
Okay.
people go there to do one of two things: be entertained or to learn something. Most of us who are in the small business space are doing both,
Yeah.
probably let's say 60/40, education, entertainment,
Yeah.
and YouTube facilitates that in a real big way, unlike any other platform, and gives you that reach outside of just a simple, algorithm that Facebook kind of constrains a lot of us with.
Mm,
So I believe that YouTube, even if you're not doing YouTube ads, just developing YouTube videos on things that you feel that are serving your audience and you're a subject matter expert on, huge and beneficial for your business without having to worry about, well, how much ad spend do I need for this? How much
yeah.
ad spend do I need for that? I mean, if you can get in front of a camera, if you can script a few
Mhm.
things, in bullet points that are going to make sense, if you can use things like Canva to make a thumbnail, you really
Yeah.
can draw a lot of attention to your business and also help position you as an expert. That's another thing that video does that you don't get with a lot of other platforms. There's a thing, I think, if anybody studies marketing and
Yeah.
psychology, there's a thing called the parasocial relationship. It's
Huh.
actually happening right now. It happens with Gilbert. It happens with me right now, just by
Tell me
him
more.
positioning you right here, right now. Video, like when we see people on the news, all of a sudden they have instant authority about the topic, even though we don't know them from Adam or Eve.
Yeah.
Yet, when they're talking about that subject, because they're positioned where they are, we now elevate them to a status. We do this with celebrities.
Huh.
We do this with the news. We do this with everything. So, video is one of those platforms that helps create not just relationships, but it also creates status.
Interesting you said that because I also think that video help create trust,
It
right?
does. It
Because
instantaneously builds trust because you need to consume somewhere around, usually for a high ticket program, there's usually about 7 hours of consumption that
huh.
has to happen on an individual for them to make the decision that they're going to purchase from you or not. Video
Wait.
helps accelerate
Hold
that
on, hold on.
process.
Stay there. This is so key, guys. 7 hours of consumption for them
Mhm.
to purchase from you. And when you're talking high ticket, what are we talking about?
5K
2,000,
up.
5,000?
Yeah, 5,000 up.
Wow.
Is the typical it's the new standard for high ticket. It used to be about 3, used to be when it was 1K, everybody called that high ticket, but
Yeah.
with inflation, guys, it's 5K now.
So with now this is so gold right now.
Yeah.
$5,000 and up, anybody that has that type of offer, it have them having about 7 hours of content about
Mhm.
that topic, about themselves,
Yeah.
really sharing and becoming that expert in a space. Somebody that normally consume that much content from you is most likely going to feel like they trust you and be willing to do work with you.
Yeah. And it's
Wow.
just a question of how quickly are you going to get them to that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're putting out less video, less content, even on your feed, Franco Urberis, he talks about having at least an hour worth of content on just your Facebook profile alone. That if they scroll and go through all the stuff, they'll have at least like an hour's worth of stuff that they consume just to get them to that step of closer being able to build that trust with you. So YouTube and video work, it's crucial, and it does that for you in a
That's
way that
amazing.
you can't really get on any other platform or through text.
No, I love this because, when you think about it, if you want to get more clients, you need to start leveraging video. Either you doing it or you have somebody else do it for you,
Yeah.
that represents your brand. Now, I'm curious. We have YouTube, then you have YouTube ads,
Yeah.
right? To me, YouTube ads is a game changer that a lot of people don't even talk about.
Hmm.
So first, tell us like what exactly is YouTube ads? Because sometimes we see those things, but we don't pay attention to it. What
Yeah.
is it?
So YouTube ads are one function of advertising that exists on the Google Ads platform. Just
Mm,
like if I was on the Meta Ads platform and I was to run ads on Facebook and I was to run ads on Instagram or display and all the other things that they have in the background there on the app network.
mm.
Um, you wouldn't say that, oh, I'm running app ads. You'd still be saying I'm running Meta Ads. At the end of the day, I'm still running Google ads. I'm just running video based Google ads. And they
Gotcha.
just so happen to be running on YouTube itself. Now, the cool thing about YouTube ads is that you have scale at a rate that you don't really have on any other platform
What do you mean?
because because people are like everybody's going to YouTube for everything. It's and I think they're right now are like somewhere around like 2.5 billion active users at any given time on YouTube.
Wow. That's
But
a
you
lot.
don't get that on any other platform. And Google is the number one search engine, and the number two search engine is
YouTube.
YouTube. And so, because you're able to tap into that because you're running Google ads, we are running intent based advertising. And what this means is you are doing something on the platform. You're driving to a location and Google
Mhm.
Maps knows what you're doing. You're checking your email and Google Maps knows what, or Google, knows what you're doing in your Gmail.
Yeah.
You're going to Google and you're like, how do I get more leads for my business? And
Yeah.
Google has a list of websites. They also have a list of ads above, and they're tracking those searches that you have in your history, and they're building an intent-based profile. And the second you go to YouTube ads or YouTube to go look for a video that may be
Yeah.
filling in that blank, immediately, like let's say if you're in the what you're getting married. My wife and I, we got married last year, and it
Congrats.
was incredible to see how much advertising had changed for us because Google has what's called in-market audiences, meaning that they know what you do on a consistent basis, but they can check the last 2 weeks of your search history in your activity and go, something's changed. Oh, Lloyd's in the market for this. Lloyd's in the
Wow.
market for wedding stuff. My wife was getting wedding dress, advertising. And not because she was going to sites or anything, but it was like
Yeah.
there was things that she was doing. And so that's what I mean by intent-based marketing. It's marketing that's not just affinity based, which is
Yeah.
what Facebook is. It's like, I like this, I like that, I shared this, I shared that. It's more so, what are you doing? And
Hmm.
when are you doing it? And then Google's going to serve those ads to you through YouTube.
That's amazing.
It's pretty
That is
powerful.
gold. Because think about it, right? You're looking for more, let's say you're a bookkeeper, you're looking for more clients who wants bookkeeping service. You can
Mhm.
run a YouTube ad and get more bookkeeping clients because these people probably on YouTube or Google searching for how do I set up my QuickBooks or how do I
Mhm.
do this? How
Well,
do I do that?
let's take it one step further, Julert. Like,
Okay.
you can set up targeting against websites that already have Google Analytics on it. So let's say we are talking to bookkeepers. We're like, hey, like we ran ads for one of the biggest bookkeeping coaches in the nation. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
2CCXer in the ClickFunnels space. And where do bookkeepers go? QuickBooks.
Yeah.
What other sites are they going to? What other softwares are they using? And we built up a list of these softwares to build audiences from. So people that go to these sites, people that are like these people who visit things like QuickBooks, you can create audiences to them.
Wow.
We had this one company that we ran advertising for, and in a they were very conservative in a conservative
Mm-hmm.
space, getting people to switch their shopping to this US based company. And
Mm-hmm.
their target audience was people that were very, very red, very, right wing.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a list of the top 10 US news sites that were conservative based news sites like Fox and The
Mm-hmm.
Hill and all this stuff, turned that into a list. And then I was running ads against people who visit those sites.
Wow.
I
That's
didn't even
huge.
have to figure out, like, oh, what type of keyword do I need? I just know that that's where my target audience is.
Yeah. You just go where they
And
are. It
yeah,
literally.
and now instantaneously, by people going there, or by fitting a profile of people that go to that site, YouTube served them ads, and they were getting like 50-cent leads, $10 book calls. It was crazy, man.
Wow. That's
Like,
huge.
that audience was hot.
Now I'm curious right now because you mentioned 50 cents leads, $10 book call. What happened when a small business owner, maybe they're just starting out, when would you recommend or even think about running YouTube ads, right? Should it be like they're made their first 100K or they made their first
I would say
250K?
for any business to feel safe, I would
Mm-hmm.
say you need to be doing at least 30K like
A
a
month.
month
Got
to
it.
feel safe. But that's not to say that everybody's business at 30K is completely different. Some
Yeah.
people have very high overheads,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some people have very low overhead. Um in the beginning of running any advertising, it's just it's exactly like doing stuff on social media. You're testing, you're
Yeah.
seeing what attracts people, and you're working through a process of iterating this testing. And so in the end, you want it to be relative to what it is that your price of your offer is. And
Mm-hmm.
you also want to put it relative to what it is that you're okay gathering data from to
Mm.
figure things out.
Okay,
You
let's
know,
go
so
deeper
if I
here.
have a $5,000
Yeah,
offer, ideally I want to spend $5,000 in that 30-day period for ads.
gotcha.
And I should be okay at the very least breaking even,
Gotcha.
just so I can gather enough data and go like, okay, this proof of concept works. I was able to get, this amount of leads and this amount of book calls, and we had this amount of shows,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up getting one sale. Okay, we know we can do this a little bit better in the next 30 days, and then move to the next 30 days. And so you've got to look at it from a perspective of, what is it that I'm okay losing because I'm
Mm.
learning, and how much is it that what type of thing am I trying to sell right now? How
No,
high
I
ticket?
love that because it gives you some type of benchmark, right? If you're selling something 5K, don't
Mhm.
expect to spend $100 and make a profit.
Yeah. And it also depends on your intention too. If you're
Yeah.
focusing on conversion based advertising, yeah, like you should know that you're probably going to be spending about as much as the offer is. However, I mean, with some of the real estate companies that we would run, we would
Mm-hmm.
do basically geo farming,
What's that?
where real estate agents, instead, they would farm neighborhoods and put out posters and flyers and stuff. And
Yeah.
I was just like, well, why don't we just take your ads, your YouTube ads that you would have some video letting people know who you are in the market, and mark those neighborhoods and
Mm,
just run ads there. Like, so if you know that you're in a specific zip code that is like your demographic that you know well, that's a good way to keep people reminded of you. So
yeah,
that might be a different budget. You might be
yeah,
like, okay, I've got $500 just to let people remember that I exist.
yeah.
Um,
It's more
you know,
awareness, not
more, yeah, because you're
competition.
focused on awareness. And
Gotcha.
you can get awareness ads, like video view ads, for as little as a penny a view, right? That's a
Mm.
30-second view too.
Oh wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
So you can get a lot of quality attention to you as an individual. And once again, that goes back to the parasocial relationship, right?
Yeah.
So if you are in the real estate niche and you're like, well, I definitely want to make sure that people know that I exist here, and I'm doing the flyers and I'm doing the open houses and I'm doing all these other things. And now you have one edge that your competition clearly doesn't have.
I love this. So this is gold because let's say you're a real estate agent, you want to drive sell in a Pacific zip code. You list out the zip codes. You do about four, five, six, seven different videos. You test them out, the one that's performing the best. You share that story. People that engage with that story, they're gonna go to your YouTube channel. You have tons of content on the YouTube channel for them to watch and consume,
Yeah.
seeing your open houses and so forth. All of a sudden, they're pinging you because they're like, "Hey, I'm thinking about selling my house.
Yeah.
Can you help me get it listed?"
And one of the best strategies that I could ever say for real estate agents,
Hmm.
if they're using just their YouTube channel to do things, a lot of them want to go and show the open house. And
Yeah.
that's fine. But you really want to be the guy or the gal in the area. Think of your video as like you're the mayor of your city or this
Hmm.
area you're in, and every video you're making, you're showing off the area. Hey,
Yeah.
did you know that there's this cool little quick restaurant
Oh
5 minutes from
wow.
this location here? And you can do this, this, and this. And that's why this area is so amazing. And you'd maybe do like some interviews and conversations with the locals. And that's
Yeah.
part of your video. So that people go like, okay, this person understands the area that I'm trying to move into, especially if people are moving across the
Yeah.
country, into a new
Exactly.
place. Like, so they see the ad, they see the zip code, they see your face, they go do the research to find out who you are, they find your videos, and now you're not just pitching them the house as well,
Yeah.
you're pitching them why the city and why the location is a great location to be in, because people buy location first and then the home second.
And it's crazy you said that. They also trust you now.
And they're building trust with you. Exactly, exactly. Because you're giving without
Yeah.
asking.
That's huge. That's
And
huge.
that's part of that parasocial relationship of video, and then they're like, okay, well, what other things do they talk about, about SoCal in this specific area? And
That's
so that it's just a way to kind of stack and layer everything that you're doing.
I'm curious if somebody want to work with you, right? Small business owner listening to this, they're like, you know what? I'm thinking about doing YouTube ads. I don't even know where to start. What should they?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have three ways that we have people work with us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we typically work with a lot of high ticket business owners. Most of them are selling a $5,000 product. They're crushing it with Facebook ads already. And they're
Gotcha.
recognizing that they are golden handcuffed to Facebook. If
Mm.
for any reason Facebook's algorithm changes at any given moment, which we know it
That
just
happens
changes all
often.
the time, there goes the business. And so we offer a way to not only scale with an additional platform, but also provide security in the business. So
Mm.
most of those businesses are already doing 30, 40, $50,000 a month.
Okay.
That's the first way. Now, the second way that we also work with people is we also work with them on a consulting basis.
Gotcha.
And so we meet with them for a 1 hour call. We go over whatever scripts they have, whatever's going on in the ad
Yeah.
account, help give them like the tips and everything. And then also I have a YouTube advertising course, which brings you from the beginning to the end of really how
Gotcha.
to do this as well.
I love.
And then the coaching also integrates the course as well, because I always recommend that people go through the beginning and then we start going through the coaching process, because
Yeah.
you'll find yourself feeling very overwhelmed in the beginning because it's a
Yeah,
brand
it's
new
a lot of
thing.
information.
It's a lot of information, and you got your head thinking about your business and everything else you
Yeah,
got to go do. But yeah, those are really the three ways that we work with people. We
I
either
love
work
it.
with people,
So
done for you,
done for you,
done with
do
you
it
with
yourself.
coaching in
Done.
addition to the course, or we just sell the course itself, depending
That's
on where
awesome.
you are and what you want.
We definitely gonna have to put those links in the chat. If you have any links you want to share, maybe put in the Zoom chat. We're gonna put it on the live as well, so people can have access to it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'll
you know,
grab my main Calendly link.
yeah, so anybody can book a call with you. I think that's huge. Guys, if you're growing your business, you're looking to scale, and you're thinking about using YouTube ads, Lloyd is one of the best that I know that I've worked with in the past. That has helped me with my YouTube ads, and I can definitely recommend. Hey, matter of fact, let me ask you this to kind of close out. Well, two questions. One, can you share a success story? Someone that you work with, or where they started with you, where they end up going. Can you share a little bit more about that? And then at
Yeah,
the end, a small tip that you can share with any business owners.
yeah, absolutely. We worked with a coach in the Amazon FBA space. In my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, one of the most saturated markets out there. Everybody wants to be an Amazon FBA and sell, and then everybody wants to be an Amazon FBA coach. So the question is, how do you stand out? And
Yeah.
so when we started running ads for them, it started off rough. We were getting somewhere around like $50 leads, four to
Mm.
$500 book calls,
Oh, wow.
and no sales. And part of the process was us going and redoing the headline of the funnel again and again and again, and coming up with the next angle and running ads, and coming up with the next angle and running ads. And then we kind of went to using Gary Halpert. I don't know if anybody is familiar with him. There are legends in copywriting. There's David
Uh-huh.
Ogilvy. There's
Oh,
Gary
wow.
Halpert's one of them. I mean, there's so many. Vincent Schwab. There's just a ton of the greats, and we found this one weird um, hook and headline, which was like, it was basically like how this nerd from this location did this in this amount of time with this. And so we were like, okay, we could leverage that.
Okay.
And the next thing that we needed to do, and I'll explain the process of like the headline, was we needed, because he didn't have a good unique mechanism. And if you
Okay.
want to stand out in the market, you need a unique mechanism, meaning what distinguishes you from everybody else. Either that, or
Mm.
you're just commoditized and you do the same
Yeah.
thing as everybody else does. You need to have some sort of unique, like, so for anybody who remembers P90X, muscle
Yes.
confusion was the unique mechanism. And even
Mm.
though like all it is just variation in your workouts, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was muscle confusion. Um, and so he had this product. He would basically teach people how to sell products. So it's like people would run into this problem all the time. They
Mhm.
find a product that works, they list it, it would crush, and then they're like, "What do I do beyond this? It's working." They'd have to go back to the drawing board to find a new product and do
Mhm.
that testing again. But his method was find something that's small, lightweight, easy, and duplicatable. Meaning, if I
Mm.
have a bandana in green, and I know
Yeah.
this green bandana with the doggy picture is crushing it, well, then why don't I have a yellow bandana and a red bandana and a blue bandana? All of a sudden, I have 10 new items that
That's
people want to
selling.
buy. I'll increase my sales, but I won't have to go through the heartache of having to do all the research. And so
Mm.
we thought, we're like, well, this kind of feels like an echo of everything. And all of a sudden, our unique mechanism became the echo method. And we
Mm.
rewrote the video ads to basically talk about this echo method, this new way of doing, Amazon FBA. And it was almost like overnight, by figuring out how to position it just the right way to the right audience.
Yeah.
So basically, it was, how this nerdy family man from Ohio figured out how to, create $100,000 with Amazon FBA using the echo method.
Mm.
And all of a
Everybody
sudden
gonna
it was like,
recognize.
okay, this is something that's tangible. And overnight we went down to $7 leads, like
Wow.
$45 book calls, and he had a $15,000 product that I think we were closing, like it was around like $2,000 per sale that we were
Wow.
getting. So like a 7x return on it. It was wild how it went from, and this is what I mean by testing, guys.
Yeah.
We tested for a while. Like he had the wherewithal where we tested for, I would say, about like 2 months straight of
Wow.
iteration until we finally got it. And then all of a sudden, once we got it, it was over. It
Boom.
was gangbusters for him.
That's amazing.
So that's the
That,
power, and that's the power
wow.
of knowing your audience. That's the
Yeah.
power of good YouTube ads. That's the power of a good funnel. It's one big ecosystem at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
And
But what if you
testing.
can, yeah, and testing. But if you can figure it out and you can bear the stress of it, if you're unsure of what your KPIs are going to be,
Hmm.
dude, you can go to the moon and back.
No, I love it. I love the fact that he was able to test long enough to find it, because sometimes that's why it's important to be at least a 30K mark, because
Yeah.
sometimes you can start testing and then you run out of money.
Yeah, well, the good thing was is that he already had a successful Amazon FBA business. He wasn't
Mhm.
like, I'm going to be a coach today on this thing that I just figured out yesterday, and then I'm going to hope to God it works. He was like, I've already got a business. I want to figure out this next part of the business and make this work. And he really loved the coaching side. He wanted to help families out,
Yeah,
because he was a young guy. He had 2 kids and a wife, and he knew how much his life had changed, and he wanted to be able to do the same thing for other men.
I love it. I love it. So what is that one small biz tip you would share with anyone before to close us out?
Yeah. I would say at the very least, if you're not ready for YouTube ads, start at least getting on camera and recording stuff for YouTube and finding that message that works. And in those videos that you have on your YouTube channel, make sure that whatever link you have, you look up what's called UTM parameters.
Mm,
And UTM parameters are going to be able to help you identify what video was the one that got the lead. So
mm.
it's still a way of being able to use YouTube. It's just an
Yeah,
organic method, but at least in that UTM parameter to, let's say, your book call, you'll know, hey, that was that video that I recorded 2 weeks ago, where this book call came from and the sale came from. And what do you need to do from there? Well,
more
I
that.
probably should make more videos like that one. And if you can find that niche and that part where you're able to finally get those organic videos cranking, then hey, this might be a video that's worth me turning into an ad.
Ah, I love it.
That way you at
Oh,
least have the safest play for you to
yes.
really test YouTube ads and go like, well, I know what keywords they're looking for. I know the audience. What is it about this video that I could turn into an ad that I can then leverage to get even more, momentum going?
Wow, Lloyd, this was amazing. Thank you for jumping on, brother. Guys, reach out to him. We put his contact information in the comments. You'll see, if you don't see this video now, you'll see it later. Definitely reach out, connect with him. As you can see, he is super knowledgeable and he can definitely help you with YouTube ads and get you up and running. Thank you, Lloyd, for coming in, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.